What does Northampton mean to you? What is this? I mean, what is Noho CX? What is this thing? What does it mean?
Yeah, right. Well, my injuries are not known for being short. And that is a very, very big question.
What does Northampton mean to me? It means like the funnest grass crit in New England. You know, it's everybody's here. You race real fast. You chase a group around. The corners are hard because you're going faster than you're used to. It's a great scene. Then you drink some beers and yell at pros.
I got you.
That's what Northampton means to me, Tom.
Northampton's great because it's the hometown race. It's 15 minutes from the house, but it's the best parts of like cyclocross in North America. You know, you get a beautiful day like this, beginning of November. It's usually a little bit of crisp in the air. The leaves are turning. It's a big family event. Food vendors, you know, good Northampton atmosphere. So yeah, Northampton to me is always the homecoming. It's always like you look forward to it. It's a special race because it's so close and it's where I grew up and got really heavily into cycling. You know, piece of my heart right here in Northampton.
I moved to Northampton partially because of this race. I actually, well, not partially because of, but I had lived in Northampton a long time ago and started coming back here for this race. And I think that I mean, we have a membership to Look Park now. We spend time here, not during the race, so I'm really excited that my son is going to get to race here for the first time today. So yeah, it means a lot actually. It's a great race.
I think back to just being 19 years old at UMass and like, I don't know, somehow having the idea that like I was capable of organizing a bike race, you know, when I was a sophomore in college is a crazy thing to me. And I miss Mike Horner, you know, who was the guy who put the race on with me. In those years and taught me everything about bike racing. You know, he's not here, but I think about him all the time. I wish we could have him back.
What is it? What is this? CSI? Well, 30th anniversary. I've raced this race like 15 times, actually like 30 times if you count twice in one weekend. This race has been around forever. It's awesome. It's got sketchy drops, sketchy drifts, sketchy run-ups, twistiness, crit racing, off-road racing. It's all a mix. It's all in the headwind. That's what's up.
Dude, this is the best race to start my season at. I was so happy because normally this coincides with Pan Ams. The last few years it has. And so when I saw that I could make it down, I was stoked. And yeah, the community is just amazing down here. It's so cool to be back at the race with all the fans. Like, I was shocked at how many people I heard screaming my name out there today. So that was so cool and so special. So I love this event. It's been awesome.
How has this thing changed? How many of the 30 of these have you done?
Oh, lots. Well, you know, originally it was at a completely different course, which you probably know is over by some dorms on a hill, and it was up and down a trail through the woods. There was a waist-high log you had to go over, and you know, so it's completely different from that. And then originally in this park, it was sort of over across the street, and that was a pretty classic, very Shed Park-like kind of course. And you know, I I personally appreciate the sort of escarpment kind of race like this is. You go, you're on levels and you go up and down the escarpment as opposed to long grinding climbs. I think more racing happens in general.
Well, the bike race, it was fun. This is my first time racing here, and it brings out a good crowd. I was impressed. As soon as I rolled up for pre-ride, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people here. Cyclocross is thriving here in Northampton. So that was fun to see, and there was lots of like cheers and banter going on around the course, which was really fun and rad.
Yeah, yeah!
You know, and all the years that it's just happened year after year and just been a thing. I'm pretty consistent. I think my personality trait is perseverance and persistence and consistency, and I think it shows up, and like all of a sudden 30 years have gone by. How did that happen? But I also couldn't do this and wouldn't be here without J.D. Bilodeau and Al Donahue, John Fri, all the folks that I lived with when I lived in Northampton. Steve Roscoe, who started Bike Reg, and Misha Crowther does my results. Like, there's just a team of people who make this race happen. The NCC, Jam Fund, and all the people who've come through, Powers, Hyde. It's much bigger than me, and I guess I'm the consistent thread through the whole thing who's been here from the beginning, who keeps it rolling. But if any of those people stop, it's just like kicking a leg out from the stool. Like, I don't know how none of those people are replaceable. So I get all the credit, but all those people really matter to how we keep it going.
What does Northampton mean to you?
A lot of work. Don't have a very elegant answer for that one. I was, with a year off, I was a little bit questioning the amount of work we put into these events. Was the community really worth it? Was it there? Or was that kind of a figment of my imagination? And this is like, I think getting back to this is kind of like showing that like it is worth it. And there is like the new generation of juniors and like the families that we're seeing, like it is actually worth time in a life where no one has that much time. And so the time off made me like want to like question it, but it really turns out it is worth it. And it is like, they are good people, and it is worth what we're building.
What is this thing?
My last bike race ever. So I've done probably 25 or 26 of these. Yeah, so I've been technical director. I own entirely too much of this stuff and, do all the heavy lifting and staking and taping and fixing of things, and eat all the fried dough I can.
Would you like to see this thing go on?
Oh yeah. I want. This is, one of my favorite races here, and so I'd say, keep it going, Adam, or whoever, if he retires from it.
It's also well done. Like, it always just feels like good race for the racers. So, and again, I restate, I'm excited my son's going to get to race here today. Against Flynn Myerson, which is also, they've been mixing it up. I say that because he's right there.
Northampton is the race if you're here in New England. I mean, we've had so many UCI races, so many different cyclocross races, but none that have been going for 30 years. It's a race that just has so much nostalgia and so much meaning. And this is a race I won here as an amateur. It puts you in this really cool club of people who've gotten to win at Northampton. And you come back here and you just keep chasing that, and I made it to the UCI field, and I was never going to win Northampton in the UCI field, but I think I could tell you every person that won here in the UCI field for the last 10 years. It's just a special place to be.
And then I think you see how the community responded to the race this weekend in particular. We're all ready to stop. We're tired. We weren't sure we wanted to do it after a year off. It felt good to have a year off. But you saw the way people responded to the race this weekend. It's like people needed it. And they were so happy to be back. And they were so appreciative. And man, I needed that. the roar of the crowd for me when I crossed the finish line, I really needed that. It felt really good. You don't do it for the appreciation, but I needed that boost, and I really appreciate that. So thanks to everybody for coming out and making the race successful. Really, it'll carry me through the year for sure.
I gave a call out yesterday to this rider. He's the race organizer, but there's another stat about this guy that you should know. Adam Meyerson has started every one of the 30 editions of the Cyclocross International in the elite division. 30 years racing elite.
This kid is an absolute dynamo. Right from the hot.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Cut. Scene.